Hello folks, this is Marji Roy at 3dcuts.com and today I'm putting together the tutorial on how to make my sunflowers. I designed the sunflowers to go with my milk can file, but I do realize that many of you would like to make the sunflowers for a different reason altogether, so they'll be available separately on my store. The video tutorial for assembling the milk can is also available. There's a link in the tutorial for the sunflowers. So if you want to make the can, look at a different tutorial. Let's get started making the sunflowers. First, I cut all of the pieces on my silhouette. There is a brown file, a green file, and a yellow file for the sunflowers. There is some prep that I want to do to the pieces before I start assembly. Let's start with the green pieces. Those are the leaves and the back part of the sunflower. I want you to take the leaves and a stack of catalogs, and on each of the leaves, using the end of a blunt tool, this is my spatula for removing things from the mat, draw some of the veins that would be in a sunflower leaf. I'm just pressing down and creating that kind of texture into the leaf. It just adds a little more detail. There, I have finished all of the leaves. On the green backing piece, you can do a few lines out through these if you want. On this sunflower, I did use distressing ink to help make the petals and the leaves separate a little bit. I'm going to do that again. That is optional. For distressing ink, I use Tim Holtz Vintage Photo. And on the leaves, I just put a little bit of the ink. It helped make those indents that I just did stand out a little bit more. And I just like some variation in the colors. I also want to prep my petals. Notice I left my petals attached to my cutting mat, and that was just to make this step easier. I want the tips of the petals to have a little bit of color to them. Like so. I'm now going to peel the background off my leaves, petals rather, and I'll still leave them attached to my cutting mat just because it keeps them in order and it's easier to work that way. There are two sunflowers with this file. They both go together exactly the same way. I am going to use art glitter glue to assemble these, and to the center of the green I'm going to add a good amount of art glitter glue. And then I'm going to start taking my petals. I'll take some of the larger ones first, and I will fold them, give them some dimension, and put them on to this in a circular fashion, covering up the green. There is no particular order to use these petals. Random is what you're looking for. After I got a first layer of petals, I will put more of the art glitter glue on here, and I will put a second layer of petals. These probably would be ones that are slightly smaller, and I would offset them. Again, I want to be random. And any large areas, I would now go and add yet another petal to that area. I gave you more petals than you'll need to do the two flowers, so expect leftovers. Now you'll take The centers, start with the largest, fold up all of the little scallops around the outside edge, starting with the largest. Next one, do the same thing. We will then glue that one right into the center of the big one. And going down in size, we will repeat this with all 5 of the little centers for this sunflower. There we go. There's a center for the larger sunflower. Put the glue on the back here and press it right into the center. You can use your fingers to curl these, some to the back, some you might want to curl to the front, a little bit of randomness to it. And there's my first sunflower. I will now make the second one, which is smaller, exactly the same process. Okay, folks, it's now time to add the sunflowers to my milk can. I'm also going to add some jute around the collar. You can use any kind of ribbon. You can use any arrangement that you want with this. You don't have to follow what I'm doing, but I'm wrapping the jute around. And then I'll tie just a normal bow with this. Pretty autumn ribbon would work as well. Okay, now I have made 2 sunflowers for this. One is going to go there and one is going to go down here. Traditionally, I always do 3 things in odd numbers, but I've found that in this particular arrangement, 2 sunflowers balance out the bow and the leaves. 3 was too many. I'm going to use hot glue for this. I've got my gun warming up. I'm going to take it and put a blob of hot glue on the back and attach it right there. And then I'm going to take the second one and offset it a little bit. There. Now the leaves, crinkle them a little bit and add glue to them. Tuck them underneath so you don't see the ends of the stems, and also attach them. The leaves come in different sizes and different shapes, so be sure you use a variety. And I don't think you're going to need them all. And there we go. And just that a little bit. Done. Another milk can with sunflowers. Have you done anything interesting with either the sunflowers or your milk can? I'd love to see it. So please send me a photo at marji@3dcuts.com showing me the creative things that you have done with sunflowers and milk cans. I love to see your projects. Thanks for watching and happy crafting, everyone.